Hey guys, Ardania here. I just want to apologize right now. My voice does not sound right because I am sick right now. And I actually debated whether or not I should make this video because I'm not feeling too good. And to be honest, right now I just want to curl up in my bed and watch some Netflix. But I'm going to tough it out and I'm going to do this book review. So today's video is going to be a book review on The Kill Order by James Dashner. And for those of you who don't know, this is the prequel to the Maze Runner series. And I recommend that if you have not read the Maze Runner series, that you do not, if you've not read the Maze Runner series, I would not recommend reading this book. I recommend that you read these in publication order, so that being the Maze Runner, the Scorched Trials, the Death Cure, and then finally ending with the prequel, just because of publication order, and you will not understand all that goes on in here if you have not read the actual Maze Runner trilogy. So, ugh, I hate being sick. Anyway, so the plot of this book is basically before Thomas was in the maze, before Wicked was even formed, there was the sun flares. So what happened was sun flares hit the Earth. NASA didn't even register on NASA's radar until it was too late. And then they hit the Earth, and everything in like immediate range was burnt. People, houses, everything just gone. Power was out everywhere. The people that mostly survived were either underground, like in subways, or just underground, or in some houses. Like some of those people, they lived. But then it was like crazy, and even then you had to stay there because of the crazy radiation that it gave off, and most of the population was actually killed off in the first wave. So then, of course, sun flares, total apocalypse, there's no government, there's nothing. Well, some civilizations have managed to rebuild almost, but like without any power, without electricity, just basically knocking civilization back down to where it once began. And so this book takes place a year after the sun flares. You follow Mark, Trina, and Alec around. You like follow their story about a year after. So like they're there, and then one day these big like bergs, which are basically like giant planes, but they're like hovercrafts. They're like actually like really cool. They come and these people start shooting like these darts out at people, and the people that are hit die almost instantly, or they take a while to die, but they still do. And it's like it's basically the starting of the disease. If you've read the Maze Runner, you know that the disease is called the flare. So that's what happens. And if you have the flare, you become a crank, which is crazy. So on from that, I want to talk about the characters. So that was like the immediate plot. The characters. Okay. Mark. Mark is our narrator. He is our main character. He's actually, I liked him as a character. I think he was a strong character, and you get like flashbacks to what happened during the flare, and you see that he's grown as a character from that. He's gotten stronger. He's gotten wiser. It's just overall really good character development. So for comparing Thomas to Mark, I actually wanted to do that because we've been given these two amazing narrators by James Dashner, so I thought we just similarities and differences. Not really comparing who's better. I don't really like that. I don't enjoy doing that between characters, but let's just similarities and differences. So like Thomas, we see him being like basically like a natural leader, and he feels like he needs to do the right thing. He always needs to do the right thing, and I think the reason why he does the right thing is because he feels like he has to make up for it. So, but Mark, on the other hand, he is kind of selfish, but I don't see it as a bad thing. Like, I think that the only reason he's selfish is because he doesn't want to be alone. So if like his best friend was in trouble, and basically he chooses friends over the world kind of thing, and that can be a little bit dangerous too. but that's just the kind of person that Mark is. But I really like that about him. And Mark is an overall, he's just a generally nice character. He's very strong, and Thomas is more like, Thomas knows what he's doing. Like, well, not necessarily, but he just knows what he knows how he feels, and knows what he needs to do to act on that. Mark, on the other hand, he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's kind of a follower, and he'll do what everyone else in his group thinks is right. But he'll still have his own thoughts, and he might act out a little bit differently, but he still goes along with the group. So I think that's like the two main differences between Thomas and Mark. Overall, I think Mark is a really good character. Second character I want to talk about is Trina. And Trina, you don't actually see that all that much of her. She's at the beginning and she's at the end. She's not really in the middle, but I think she's a pretty decent character. She's somewhat the typical whiny girl that you have to save. She's kind of like that, but then at other points she's kind of like take control and like is her own person. I don't really know how I feel about Trina. The final main character is Alec, and he is this old soldier he was a soldier before the flare, so he knows a lot about survival. So that's a really good aspect. And he's very, very harsh, but in a way that keeps everyone alive. So I guess it's good. He does care, but he doesn't really show it, and he doesn't act on emotion, which I think is really good. So I did really like Alec. Okay. So the last part of this video, I want to do a spoilers part, but before I do that, I'm just going to say that I love this book. I thought it was really, really well written. So far, I've loved everything that James Dashner has written that I've read, so obviously it's great. Love it. It was very, very compelling, fast-paced, really good story. I really enjoyed it. So if you have not read the Maze Runner trilogy, I would shut down this video now. So thank you guys for watching. And now this is the spoilers part of this review for the people that have read the Maze Runner trilogy. Can we talk about Dee Dee for a second? The fact that Dee Dee is Teresa, that kind of blew me away a little bit. Like, I knew there was something up with Dee Dee. I was like, okay, she's immune, right? Okay, so maybe what I was thinking was that like Mark, Trina, and Alec are going to be the ones to form Wicked and like train Dee Dee to be like immune and everything. And then I was like, but then that didn't happen. And then actually, like I think like a few chapters before it actually happened, I was like, Dee Dee's Teresa, isn't she? But then it was confirmed, like basically it was confirmed right at the end when she's like, yeah. Before this, my name used to be Dee Dee for Teresa. I was like, oh, okay, that's awesome. So I really like that twist. I really like this book. I thought it was really interesting to be able to see firsthand what the flare did to you. We saw it in the Maze Runner. We saw it from Thomas's perspective of how Newt was going, but this was actually, we got to see Mark and how his mind was set up about it, which I thought was really interesting. So, yeah. I really, really enjoyed this book. It was really good, and I actually heard that James Dashner is going to write another prequel, or at least thinking about writing another prequel, and I've heard that this one is going to be from Teresa and Thomas's point in actually interacting with Wicked before the maze. So I think that would be very interesting. I'm obviously going to read it. Anything that involves a Maze Runner, I'm going to be interested in. So I really like this book. I think I gave it like either a 4 or 4 stars or 5 stars on Goodreads. It got really, really high marks for me. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. So thank you for watching this video. Please post comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Next week I am gonna do a book review on The Fault in Our Stars because I realize I haven't done one yet. So I'm gonna do that. So maybe later this week I'm going to do a haul video because I just went on a trip and I got a bunch of stuff, so I want to share it with you guys. So I'll do a haul video, and just whatever else I feel like. So Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Tuesday and whenever else I want. I am Iridania, and thank you for watching.